A key figure in Quebec's 1970 October crisis has died. Paul Rose led a Montreal-based cell of the FLQ. In 1970, the cell kidnapped and killed Quebec Labour Minister Pierre Laporte. Rose was convicted of murder, jailed, and then put on parole in 1982. He remained active in politics. He died of a stroke today. He was 69 years old. Now, Terrence McKenna directed and narrated a documentary for CBC on the crisis called Black October. He joins us now live from Montreal. Terrence, Paul Rose was clearly a divisive figure, right? What were his actions with the FLQ about?
You know, Paul Rose was one of those all-purpose revolutionaries in search of a revolution. In the late 1960s, he was involved with many causes, especially towards the end of the 60s, the Montreal Taxi League. And so when a kidnapping happened here in Montreal in October 1970, and it was done with a taxi, the police immediately started looking for Paul Rose and his friends. And it was they who were behind the kidnappings of James Cross and then Pierre Laporte, who was the Minister of Labour at the time. And, you know, he was always, he tried to portray this as that he was trying to unblock democracy and you know, bring Quebec into the modern era somehow. And it was, you know, they really made it up as they went along. They found they were driving around looking for cabinet ministers to kidnap and happened upon Pierre Laporte playing football with his nephew on his front lawn, and so kidnapped him, and were astonished themselves that they got away with it and created such a furor.
Right. Have we learned anything about that October crisis in recent years?
Well, you know, he was convicted of murder, and later it turned out there was a commission of inquiry which revealed that he, in fact, was not at the house when Laporte was killed, and this was a factor, I think, in his parole. And then, actually a year or two ago, it came out that a retired policeman spoke to a reporter in Montreal and said that there is a secret recording at the Parthenay at the Quebec provincial police headquarters, a recording that was made illegally of the Rose brothers confessing to their lawyer that they killed Laporte by accident, that they were trying to shut him up and as they were trying to transport him from one place to another. And so, you know, they always said that he died at the hands of the FLQ, and they were, you know, a little mysterious about the actual circumstances of the death. But they let on at the time they put out a communique saying that Laporte was executed, and in fact, it's, you know, one way or another, it's the same thing. He died as a result of their actions. They murdered him.